Here we go.
Hunt Companion.
Hunt Companion. This is the first November Hunt Companion. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. It is the first November Hunt Companion.
Yeah, it is.
Is that surprising to you? Feel like October went fast?
Nope. That's what comes after October.
Felt like it went really fast. Just kind of... I only sat twice for myself. I sat with the kids a few times and stuff, but I sat last Tuesday night and Wednesday morning in Ohio. And that was the only sits I've done in October. It's wild.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know.
Didn't seem like enough.
It was for sure not enough. I mean, I sat 5 or 6 times with the kids.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah. But I think primarily just a time in that race laid me up there for a week. Actually, 2 weeks. The week leading into it, I was like, I don't want to do anything crazy. And the week after it, I was a cripple. So, yeah, there's 2 weeks of October down the shitter.
Yep.
So,
no, I would say it's going at about the pace that...
You've sat quite a bit.
Yeah, I've sat a fair amount. We've had some good success. And yeah, it's just, I mean, when you're in it, it's hard, it's hard to sit, reflect and contemplate, as it's happening, which we do from week to week. I mean, this is the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is our styles too. Like I'm it's not that I don't want to hunt in October, but I'm okay not hunting as long as the opportunity of capitalization on the deer is still within the best range for me. Meaning I don't need to just sit for him. I just want to go and sit for him the one time and kill him. Does that make sense?
I've sat for him a bunch of times and not killed him though.
But that's kind of your style is you'll just
sit a lot and not kill him.
No, but you'll just sit a lot until you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I just...
It's not like you're sitting in the same stand necessarily either.
No.
Yeah, you're bouncing around.
No, it's honestly just kind of it's both. There's an excitement to go and, and we're trying to play on good weather days, but it's also kind of a race, honestly.
Boy, dude, the good weather day thing if there's anything that's stressful. And I have a lot of flexibility in my time schedule in terms of when to hunt, but it's we talked about it before. It's there are so few good weather days. Even the days that I'm looking at it, we said last night, you and I were both in, I'm like, boy, it feels like a killer night. You said it was this is a killing night. I had a terrible fucking hunt. I think we saw 3 button bucks and a doe. It just was, and that's in a spot behind the house that there's 5 or 6 2-year-old bucks that are there all the time and nothing. We actually, I take it back. We saw a spike right at dark.
Yeah.
But I'm what the hell,
I would honestly say now that we're at the tail end of it here, the majority of October has been pretty poor mature buck movement from what I'm seeing.
At least in daylight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just no in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Compared to early October, it definitely has been a little bit more sporadic.
Do you think that's more geared to your farm?
Probably. I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I mean too.
Because Illinois seems like it's gotten better, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been,
it's still sporadic, but
it's definitely farm to farm. You're right. You're right. So, I mean, my Ohio farm compared to years past seems this October's been slow or off or whatever, but no, Illinois is on pace, if not better.
Yep. I would say my Kentucky farm where we hunted this weekend has slowed dramatically since early October. Yeah. Whether that's because the beans changed, I got 12 acres of standing beans.
Bucks are just doing weird things. Dude, I think they're just avoiding our cameras.
I do think
that's honestly what I think is happening. Got a picture of GR8 last night.
You did get a picture of him.
First one.
Is that the one you sent me?
At the blind.
Yeah, that's the one you sent me, right?
I don't know. Did I send it to you?
I thought so.
You
sent me one at the blind at the scrape.
I mean, probably not. This was at 10:21 last night.
No.
It's GR8.
Looks fine.
Looks fine. And Dale saw him in person from the log pile.
Yeah. So Dale saw him in person before he had a picture of him.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Just doing stupid stuff, like walking up through the middle of a pasture.
Is that what he was doing?
That's where I'm seeing him too. Like out in the pasture, out in random pastures, like broad daylight, eating just like clover and stuff that's in the in these pastures.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, I can't really attribute like what some of these deer are doing. I mean, we talked, I guess it was last week. I had that 6.5-year-old in Kentucky on the farm show up out of nowhere. Haven't seen him for 2 months, and he looked like shit.
Based on what I'm seeing, I bet he's been there whole time.
Yeah, very possible.
Just not getting pictures.
I think he had EHD.
Probably. He does look rough.
He lost a lot of weight.
He does look rough.
But he could have just been laying low, not feeling great, and getting up, browsing, eating some acorns, and just back down, like just in recovery mode.
Yeah. I mean, well, dude, that's GR8 got shot almost a month ago, and I haven't got a picture of it. He's been on the farm. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere.
Just doesn't go anywhere. A whole month, dude, I got a lot of cameras out
there. Yeah.
What's really crazy is even in some of his core area stuff, I've got like 360 cameras on green plots.
Not even in the background.
If he steps foot in the food plot, I know it.
Yeah, not even in the background.
Full of does every night. 10, 15 does. He just will not come out in it.
Crazy. Yeah,
it's cool.
The last week's, if anything, it's first of all, there's been a lot of our listeners that have, bless you. How's it going?
Excuse me.
There have been a lot of our listeners that have been crushing bucks, which is cool as shit. Because it was a good weather week for it. We had a really nice front come through. We had some good bluebird days following it. We had some east winds, which was a bit squirrely, from what you would expect. Even today, I think is like east northeast or something. But I guess the things that I looked at is I was checking a bunch of cameras in Kentucky when I was down there behind the cabin, really. So like call it the mountain property. And it's like all of a sudden I start connecting all these pieces to these deer, and like I'm like they're not growing. Like that's what's throwing me off of like who they are is like I have them, I would say at 3 years old is when I'm like identifying them, and I'm like, okay, that's this buck. And like the one I just had, I had him at 3, or I had him at 2, and I had him at 3, and then he wasn't there last year. So again, I would have been like, I don't know, he died, and he's not there. And then boom, he's back in this core area this year. And I have another one I have at 3, 4, and 5, and like both of them probably grew, I would say no more than 15 to 20 inches since they were 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Is that because like, I mean, I have to believe that some of it is just the deer themselves, because like I have had a handful of like really good genetic bucks on that mountain. I mean, that 2-year-old still is the biggest probably 2-year-old I'll ever find, 145-inch 2-year-old. But then you've got these deer that are making it through. And so I guess the question is like, are the other ones getting shot? Like, are they getting high graded? Right? Like that big 145-inch 2-year-old, people see them, they're like, giant, boom, dead. And are these 110-inch 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old deer just getting through?
I'm sure there's a component of that. That's everywhere.
I also would just think that from like
there's probably a nutritional.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Ceiling too.
Yeah, which I've had a bunch of conversations with some Kentucky guys, and it's like, the strategy would be, okay, put a protein feeding schedule in, but I can't feed from March 1st to July 31st, which is pretty critical.
Right. It's the only time it matters.
Yeah. I mean, so I could feed them in January and February, which might help.
Yeah.
But then nothing from March to July, and I might as well not feed them protein in August. Like, they're done.
Right.
So
I guess, yeah, it would help. But.
So, yeah, but I mean, probably not that much. So is it, it becomes like, what do you do with those deer? I mean, like, I'm going to try to kill them. They're mature bucks, but like, they're never going to be anything special. But yeah, it's just interesting to see how those deer continue to make it through. But some of the deer that I would expect to show up that I'm like, boy, this deer is going to make a big jump, never do. So I don't know if they're getting killed. That's the only thing I can write it up to from like random chance. Like, these bucks all keep showing back up, and those good genetic ones aren't. Like, somebody's shooting them.
Well, the first thing I would do is I'd try to shoot them all.
Shoot all the bully, like, big bucks?
Oh, just all the bucks that aren't scoring and they're mature.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shoot as many as you can.
Yeah. Well, that's the plan.
And if there's better genetic deer, young or old, that you can let, move in or take that.
Which I do. I have a really nice 10-point that I believe is a 3-year-old, could be a 4-year-old. But I mean, he's got way better potential than those other 2 deer.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously not a genetic limitation. Maybe there is a nutritional.
I would say that's probably a big one. It's the mountains. They're eating acorns now, and the browse isn't great. And like, I don't have a ton of spots for food plots there. And my supplement, even if I did feed protein, which is expensive, but if I did feed protein, I can only feed it December, January, February. And then after that, like, you can't.
Yeah. It's also, I just think that comes with the territory of big woods,
It does.
Connecting timber is like, I just don't think you're going to have the same experience as like being able to like manage a farm per se.
No.
The extreme opposite end would be like a Higgins type situation, which is like a small island of timber in a vast expanse of where it's like the deer don't leave.
Yeah.
It's just like they're there.
Well, I told you, like, even that.
I think with timber, they're just going to move.
That 4-year-old 10-point and that 5-year-old 8-point, I had literally right behind my cabin at like 11 p.m. And midnight. At 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., they were 1.5 miles away on the furthest camera I have on my neighbor's property. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And they were together practically. Like, they're just crushing scrapes and cruising. And it's like, they just move a lot. And had I not had any camera, I wouldn't have thought that. I put the camera there because I'm like, okay, I need to pick up some other deer. No, I picked up all the same deer. Like, there are no different deer over there, which is just, it's weird to see them do that. Yeah.
Well, they do weird stuff, man. We saw, so like this past weekend, Dagger was gone for like 4 or 5 days. And we were speculating, like, is he locked down with a doe somewhere? Is he, in the past, he's done excursions over to one of those neighbors, and he'd be over there for a few days. So maybe he did that. But he showed up on the grassy knoll at like 5:20 in the morning. And crushed a scrape up there.
So you would think he's bedding close or going to bed close.
Well, you would, but then an hour later at 6:30, he was at the West Wind feeder, quarter mile up the ditch. So he did that. So I'm pretty confident. Yeah, he probably bedded in there somewhere. So that's where I hunted. That was the day before. Or the morning of. That I hunted that blind. I had a great hunt out of that blind. It was fun. I saw. I mean, I had a lot of deer in bow range. I had 10 or 15 does, most of which did work out downwind to me. But they seemed to like they came out far enough downwind, and as long as they could see the blind,
they're like, I can see if anything's about to get me.
They kind of let it. They kind of let it go. I guess.
That makes sense.
So most of them did end up working out in the bean field. I had a spike come right up along the side of the blind, and you can't see it. I couldn't see it until he was literally at this open window, like 2-3 yards, and he comes around and jumps right in front of me. And then I had another 2-year-old and that 3-year-old 7-point work out the edge right to that scrape, and then right through the gap. Like,
that's not bad.
All of them but the shooters, dude. It's like touchy. Oh man, like they just
the blinds and being close to them. Like I mean, I get it, man. Like, even though we were dealing with like a spike in fawns last night, like, and there was 3 of us in the blind, but I mean, it's like I give the kids credit, like we weren't moving, and they're just like, you couldn't breathe.
They're edgy, man.
You couldn't breathe. They just like, they knew that, like, they're just like, something's there.
Yeah. So like that 3-year-old 7-point, I thought any minute it could happen. I was ready for it. And I'm like checking this behind me because there's a 2-year-old that was like slipping out behind me. And I put the dyno and I look up, and the 3-year-old standing in the scrape at 25 yards. And I'm like, I don't know how he got there without me hearing him or anything, and he was cool. He'd come through the gap just perfect. I could have shot him, but one other thing I would say just about like observation, like, so as we're learning. So Dale saw GR8 from the water hole. He saw him come up out of that piece of timber between there and East Twin, and he walked right up through that pasture, which was bizarre. And then potentially what he's thinking is circled all the way around, went down past the log pile, and then came out the bottom of the green field below him. So he saw him clear as day, like definitely him.
Yeah.
Almost did a full circle out and around him, and then over into the beans, up above the switchgrass, and then worked down into the beans.
Weird.
Yeah. So I hung a stand for him at the Come Get Me.
Yep.
Like the next day or two, and it was awesome for an east wind. It's a killer setup.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't see him for whatever reason. Last one, I'm just piecing together like weird stuff these bucks are doing. Last night, do you remember that other 4-year-old that has the twisted brow tine, but not the super tall one? Just he's a solid framed, mid-40s type deer. I hung a set for Brian on the grassy knoll. Okay, to hunt with a northeast wind. So normal stands here. I hung him here.
Yep.
Cool set. I got one of the Patriot Series, lone wolves in there. And he saw that deer get up out of a bed in the knob in the middle of the Ramsey. Just that little, the section, the unmowable section.
Yeah.
He saw him stand up out of that and walk off of it in broad daylight, like 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. He gets up, milled around in there for a while, and then walked down into the corn, and he lost sight of him, like down in the bottom there.
That's a visibility spot for him.
Yeah. It's like essentially it's an unhuntable spot.
Yeah, and he's just got his head on a swivel and feels like king of the world on that knob, and he can just see.
Just a bizarre spot is what I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, not what you I mean, that's the thing is you think about these big bucks and you're like you want to believe that they just want to be like in thick nastiness and stuff, but at the end of the day,
that deer.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They're standing out there.
I think at the end of the day that, especially these mature bucks, they use their eyes a lot. And sure, if they get pressure, like I made some comments about gun season, I think on the last Hunt Companion or whatever.
Sorry to be laughing. My buddy just texted me. He must be joking. He goes, "How you doing?" I haven't talked to him. He goes, "What brand of crossbow do you recommend?" I'll recommend some sort of diaper alternative.
Yeah, no. You're an able-bodied man. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're just using that. But I mean, when you talk about like the thick stuff, I think as they get pressured, sure, they go to that, or they take a doe into that when they start locking down with her. But I think other than that, like they really want to see, like even some of these deer in the big timber, like they're playing the thermals. Like we talk about thermals rising and them getting in these benches. But dude, if you go to any of these little benches where these deer have, like, you find a buck bed and you're looking, you're like, I can see everything. Like the thermals are coming up, and the wind's coming over my back. Like, so I've got all of the scent here, but I can just see forever. It seems like even in my area that, we just had a select cut and that shit's getting thick. I still can I can see across the hillside. Like if there's a doe or a buck working on the hillside, I see him. There he is.
Mm-hmm. Well, for what it's worth, where that buck was bedded, because it's always interesting to learn about, like, there he is. He's bedded right there. Wind was just blowing kind of towards him. Like he was bedded on the north face.
Yeah.
With the wind coming out of the northeast.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I do say, here's the other thing. We had, what? I want to say 4 days of east winds, 4-ish days of east winds. I do think that throws them off their game. That's not the predominant wind. Obviously, west, southwest, something like that is more predominant. I think when they get some of those east winds, they do things that we don't expect them to just because of the way wind is. And honestly, they're just, it's just different. I think they counter things.
I'd like to see a chart, like in terms of historically what the prevailing wind is this time of year. I feel like I've had as many east winds as we have.
Really? Mine's like almost always south or southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
we get a lot of them. We get a lot of east winds, which I don't mind. I have some good sets for them, and it's a west access farm, so it kind of works.
Yeah, it works to your advantage. Yeah. I just think that some of those predominant winds, it throws them off the game, which can be good because then they do weird stuff, and it's like, here he is, stands up and walks across the pasture in front of you, and you kill him, and you're like, what the hell? It's
definitely fun to, like, I'm hunting a part of the farm that we've put a lot of work into. And it's fun to see some things that have come together and that are working. Like we have some good shooter deer in there. That's that in and of itself is a huge accomplishment. Yeah. But there's also like massive things. I'm like, holy cow! Like that's got to happen. You know what I mean? It's like in terms of access screening, like, you know, so even that blind, you know what I mean? That wasn't even an option until just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I moved that in there.
Yep.
And now I'm like, you could build that whole part of the farm around that setup there, you know, but you need to have some sort of a screen or on corn years, you know, some already, so now to next year, I'm fast forwarding. Like if you can visualize how those sections lay, I have like the gas line access here and the Roberts access here.
Yeah.
This needs either screen or corn, and this needs screen all the way in
on the gas line.
On the gas line, the part furthest to the north, and you literally are bulletproof in those two sets.
Yeah, I mean that's the good time about ass and seat, right? Is like you get to see things, see what deer are doing, think about it, stare at it, you know, to process that kind of thing. You know, and we're coming up, you know, as this is even dropping on whatever that is, it's November 2nd, I think, if this is dropping on Sunday. It's like now it is purely ass and seat time. Like, not that the spot doesn't matter, but like they're going at this point. Like it's just time.
See the scruff going here?
Yep. Is that your rut beard?
Ass and seat beard.
Ass and seat beard. Yeah. No shave. No shave coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's kind of the mindset. Like, there's a lot of people that are just like, what do you do right now? And it's like, I don't know. I mean, you can still kill them on a scrape right now. Like, most of my deer are just doing pre-rut things. Like, they're just walking around, they're eating, they're crushing some scrapes. I've seen one deer that was here in Pennsylvania, like, bumping a doe hard. But I don't think I haven't seen any, like, definitive, like, hardcore chasing yet. I haven't even heard any vocalizations yet.
I have. I've seen it both.
Yeah.
Yep. Not from any mature bucks.
Yep.
It's bizarre. I mean, this is that early season, like, confusion, because it's like, you know, on one hand, it's like you'll see a train of them go. Like, I saw that 3-year-old and a 2-year-old chasing 2 does the other day. And then, but at the same time, you'll see a bunch of bucks and does just out in a field.
Yeah.
Just
doing
eating,
nothing.
just eating. Just doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a lot of it's that those young bucks getting testosterone and knowing they're anticipating, like, that doe may be on the fringe, but she might still be 72 hours or a week away from going into estrus. And so they're just ramped up at this point.
I do wonder how closely they can tell. Like, how
I bet it's
real spot
close.
On. They're like, hey,
from a pheromone standpoint, I bet it's real close.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
And probably from a behavior.
That would make that behavior make sense if they're like, well, you know, she's not ready, but I'm going to.
Because now's the time where, like, it's weird. Like, first of all, I'm looking, last night's case in point, I had 3 fawns with no does. Okay. Well, there's, where's the does at? You know, maybe they're on lockdown, you know, maybe they're dead. Who knows? See,
the does that I've seen, they've not been run around hard yet at all. Like, they're not. You see them every once in a while, like the young bucks will run them around, but they're smart enough to, like, outsmart us.
Yeah, they know.
You know.
Yeah. No, that's one. And then number 2 is, like, if I see does, I'm just watching their behavior. Like, if they're with fawns, like, I'm not even paying attention to them. But if a single doe comes out, you know, what's she doing? Is she squatting? She just acts ditzy. Like, there's key observation points that you can find, like, when she's
I haven't seen any of that with my own eyes. I haven't seen any does acting like that.
Yeah, and I think it's still early for some of that.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah.
You know, the next week, as this is dropping, like any day now. I mean, the coolest part about this, because we're recording this, guys, on October 27th, just we're getting this out of the way, because we're leaving for Illinois here on Wednesday, which we'll talk about. But the coolest part about right now, like, it's October 27th to even November 3rd, 4th, is, like, it's an any moment type of sit. Like, you could be having a trail of 3 days of shit hunts, and then all of a sudden it sounds like the woods have elephants running through, and it's like there's 500 inches of antler just came blowing by you, and 4 different bucks or 3 different bucks chasing, and, like, it's just, it happens that fast. So you just, you know, that is this time period of, like, what's gonna happen. And for us, we're timing it with a pretty big rain front that's coming in. So we've if you're listening to Sunday, so Tuesday, Wednesday in Illinois, big rain front came through. We drove out Wednesday or either hunted Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. We'll see what the front does. And then we're here basically till Tuesday. So, you know, we're not only playing the time of the year, we're playing a big front as well, which stack the odds as best as we can in our favor to capitalize on some of this first really rutting activity that we're about to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and I guess we'll see, but I'm anticipating less chasing, more
cruising,
pre-rut. Not even cruising. I just think.
Think so?
Yeah, I would anticipate, if in terms of an encounter with mature bucks, I think it's going to be scrapes still. I think it's going to be establishing core area, establishing dominance.
Yeah.
Maybe nudging some checking does, green plots.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Be interesting. I don't know. It could be, those first couple does coming to estrus and all hell could break loose. Also could experience, lockdown on a couple of our big deer, especially the big deer early,
Could.
Yeah, it could go any which way, and it just kind of depends. It's property to property, at this point of what that looks like. But yeah, I mean, I would assume for sure with this front coming through, we'll see scrape activity on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday-ish time frame.
Yeah.
That basically through Halloween.
But 10 looked good the other day, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh, curled up there, hitting a big scrape.
I bet he's mid-40s.
I bet he's pushing 50.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deer.
Yeah, it's a big old 6.5.
Yeah, he's a tank.
Toter. We picked up another mature buck, but he's across the street, I guess. But
I think that deer's bigger than we realized too.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Which is awesome because,
yeah,
speaking of like from year to year, I mean, yeah, if that's that deer, he freaking put on 20 inches probably.
Oh yeah, from 4 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, assuming that was and not 5 to 6, but yeah, it's
mass gets me, dude. That time mass, I'm like, oh,
that's your sweet spot.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool to see those guys, and they're definitely just doing pre-rut stuff, checking scrapes. I saw that giant 4-year-old crushing the scrape at the pinch last night.
He's cool too.
Right at dark.
Yeah, be fun to encounter that deer in person.
He'll look like a magnum coming in.
I know it.
Yeah, undeniable when you see him, but it'll be like, jeez.
Mm-hmm. It's something about, dude, even them small deer, like last night in the blind, when you're inside of 20 yards with a 2 or 3 year old buck, like they'll fool you.
Oh yeah. You're like, that's a big deer.
Unless you know who they are. I mean, that's the benefit of these cameras is like, you but even then, like last night I saw a deer that I'm like, I don't think I recognize that deer.
I know.
For sure was like a 3-year-old deer.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's where I'm on edge right now. Like every deer I see on camera, or I'll see a preview, I'm like, oh, new buck. And then I'm like, no, I know him. I know that deer.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, hopefully we can get close on some of these guys in Illinois, and we've got some other big developments there too that we'll save maybe for until those are done. But
we're gonna do. Well, if you're listening on Sunday, you can go back and check out the live podcast we did on Thursday night. That'll just be sitting there as a normal pod that you guys can listen to. We've got a pile of stuff just kind of stacked up here, and really just go into hunt mode for a while. It's the plan, at least.
We're in it now.
We are in it now. So, yeah, other than that, guys, that's kind of it. I mean, it's November, a lot of rutcations.
Buckle in.
Just buckle in and enjoy the ride here for the month of November. And we will catch you on next Sunday.
Hunt Companion.
Take me on down the river where the guilt can't find.